back to Field Trip Science. We're talking about one of the coolest animals in the whole world today. We're talking about fish. So we're going to talk a little bit about some cool functions of their body that has helped made them able to adapt and live in their environments. But first we got to talk about how cool Utah is just for a moment. We have just in this area around BYU, the Provo River, Utah Lake, Strawberry Reservoir, there's tons of places to go be in the water despite Utah being a desert. And Utah has some of the most famous fly fishing in the United States. So fish are a big part of living here. So before we get started, we have to do our disclaimer and just talk about how important it is to have a fishing license. Having a fishing license is super important because this is the way that the state tracks how many fish are being caught. There are limits on many of the places that you go, rules on what you can eat, and this can all be found through Fish and Game. But the state needs to track this so that they know if we are overfishing or underfishing, so we can support our fish population so we can continue to do so in a sustainable way for many years to come. So get your fishing license if you don't have one. But let's talk about fish. We have two models here. This is a model of a brook trout and a model of a rainbow. These are two of our fish that we love to catch so much in Utah. And another one that we love to see is a brown trout. A brook trout is kind of a hybrid fish, could be like a brook and a tiger, or a brown and a tiger, making a brook trout. So these are some of our fish. Let's talk features for a second. Many people always ask, can fish smell? And the answer is sort of. Some of them can. So they have in their nose right here a nostril-like thing, and it's called a nare, N-A-R-E. And what happens is water will pass through their nose and kind of land on these sensory pads inside of their nose, and they're able to process what chemicals land on this pad, and they'll tell them basically clues as to what's going on. Maybe it could be, this is a chemical that says, okay, we need to mate, this is what this chemical means, or this chemical is telling me that it's, I don't know, getting really cold, or there's a certain thing in the water that is delicious. So that is what they're using these nare pads for. Every single fin on a fish helps it change direction. Both of these fish are kind of missing some fins, but that's okay. And each of these fins has a name as well. So that's really, really cool. Fish do breathe through their gills. So another thing, when we are catching fish, it is really important that we recharge the fish, meaning that we help them catch their breath, because something that fishermen do a lot is they take their fish out, they squeeze it really tight so they can get a picture in their hand, and they might kill the fish by squeezing it so hard, and then they just throw it back in the river. And so they just threw back our friend completely out of breath, and he is now ready to swim away. So what we're gonna do, maybe I'll show you on this other fish, might be a little bit easier, is we're gonna gently hold their tail. We're gonna gently hold their tail in their body, and you charge the fish back and forth. Help water run through their gills so they can catch their breath, and when they're ready, they will swim out of your hands. But it's important to put them in the water, place them in, and charge them back and forth so they can have that water running through their gills. Okay, another thing, why are fish so slimy? This is something I just barely learned today. Most of their slime is made of proteins. These proteins are helping them when they get cut or if they have a lesion on their body, helping them to heal. And in some cases, baby fish might even nibble some of these protein slimes off to help them grow. Last really cool thing we have to talk about with fish is the fish bladder, or sometimes they're called a gas bladder or a swim bladder. It's located right in the top of the fish, right here. And it kind of just looks like a balloon. But what this does is it helps the fish float. So this is what helps them float in the water at all times and helps them conserve energy so they're not tired from swimming all day. So these are some of our fun facts about fish.
All right, guys, welcome to the activity portion of Nature Field Trips with the Bee Museum. We are out on the river today because this is where you can find fish. So you're not gonna find fish in trees, you're not gonna find fish in the desert, you gotta look in the water. So we're here on the Provo River. You can also find fish in lakes. You can go there to look for them, or you can go, if you're nearby, the ocean and go check out those fish as well. Now, there's lots of activities that we have to suggest this week. You're welcome to do any of them, or multiple of them, or all of them if you're feeling adventurous. But one of them is to possibly go fishing. So I'm here, I've got my net, I've got my waders. I'm all ready to do a little bit of catching some fish possibly. You can also fish with a pole. You can go fly fishing. You can get on a boat and look for fish as you drive by or as you float by. Those are all things you can do out on the river. And make sure if you go fishing to get a fishing license. So there's an app that you can use. We'll go ahead and put that app in the information so that you can use that. But there's an app you can use. You can connect right to it and get your fishing license right away. So that's one of them. You can go fishing in multiple ways, or you can go look for fish in the wild. Another one is you can go visit the fish hatchery in Spanish Fork. They give tours sometimes, I know that. You can go to the fish hatchery and see how fish are grown for food. And the last one that you can try is you can try eating a new fish. So if you've ever not tried a different kind of fish at the store, if you're not a huge fan of fish, maybe try a different kind. You could try salmon, tilapia, tuna. All of those things are really great fish. So make sure to look up what's the best, most sustainable way to eat that fish and try something new this weekend, whether it's fishing or eating fish.